But yeah, so pretty excited about the transition and kind of like I say, just buckling down on the foundations um, of the program and get it implemented.
Nice. All right, man. So now, do you have any specific questions for me today?
Yeah, so I was just wondering, like, as far as like whenever we finish all the worksheets, what does the process look like? I mean, it may happen later on in the program, but I was gonna say like when do we start that? I guess started maybe implementing some of those same things as far as like on the website, basically how like pricing structure, things like that. Um, do we like go as soon as we finish the worksheet? Do we kind of just put that to action and kind of like go in and make those changes like on the website and kind of the whole branding aspect of it? How does that work?
Yeah, for sure. So it's usually like later, like in the weeks, and later in the weeks, I'll show exactly like how to basically to launch it into like the 2.0 way, so to speak. But what a lot of guys do is like they like, because I want to get results for you as soon as possible, then that's what I always optimize for. So once you have the new like branding down and new like pricing structure and all of that, the what comes after that is sales, because I want you to start selling first, because that's the most important part. I want to start like pitching, having conversations, and really start really talking to people in your market. Because once you are able to do that, you might even like book some codings in, even just before like you hit on to like the whole like branding aspects of it. So really like so like once you like so like so it's like you don't have to look at it so like academically. It's more like knowing that what are your price points are, what are your ideal customers you are going for, make sure that you know like where to find them, um and all of that. So later on like the click by click strategies, it will be like later on in later on the weeks.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, and I kind of already started that aspect of it, like some of the, because I've been getting just new customers just calling in action. I'm trying to, and I already kind of started basically telling them about certain packages that I offer, what I don't offer, and kind of transitioning over to that 2.0 framework.
Mm,
And then even some return clients, I know I just finished up a coding on. I think it was like a Gran Turismo, and he just sold it. So he was actually like one of the. So I did the. It was like a 2008 uh, Maserati Gran Turismo, and it was black. And I did paint correction, ceramic coating, and then he was actually able to sell the vehicle for a little bit more value, just because based off the paint condition. So he was one of those examples where to truly see like, hey, the money that I'm investing with you is definitely going to pay off on the long end. So I thought that was pretty cool. And he actually told some of his friends and stuff that actually has a few other different vehicles that I have to actually put down on schedule tomorrow for some coatings also.
mm. Nice, nice. Yeah, like that's the way to do it. And have you got into like week 2 yet?
Yeah, no, I'm just going to start that tonight. So I had wrapped up. I didn't because I started last Thursday, and today was like my birthday, so I kind of chilled out. I didn't really do too much
Nice.
detail work. It was more so just kind of stuff around the house. So and buckled down here on the program also too. So so today's I'm going to start week 2, and then I'm going to try to get through it, and then hopefully by yeah, next Thursday I'll have everything complete, and I can be able to have a call, and then go on to week 3. Yep.
Nice, nice. Yeah, man. Happy birthday.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So like, what are your new prices that you are setting?
So basically, I stopped trying to. Well, I stopped because I guess the biggest thing here in Florida, a lot of customers are more asking for um, just like basic services, and sometimes we get seasonal people. We call them snowbirds. They kind of come and they just kind of like want something like once, and then So I kind of stopped taking in those clients just because I kind of wasn't seeing. Um, Um, Basically, I was just doing a lot of work for nothing. It was, the $200, $300 details. And then more so started focus on more the paint correction and coatings, kind of like the program. So really stopped taking like, somebody calls me that price shopping about just like a basic detail. I just told them, hey, I'm probably not I'm probably not your guy, because this is what I specialize in. I specialize in, more European vehicles, specifically more of your BMWs and Mercedes, which I've been kind of doing a lot. Um, so that's what I've kind of already kind of started implementing in my business already, and I'm starting to see some benefits of that.
Mm, that's good, man. So I think like now like the right time is like once you start getting to like week to the week 3, and you will find that everything sort of like will click. Now you have all your foundations all laid down. The main metric is pretty much like $1,000 per coding job, and so like once you are able to like hit that, and then you can just like run with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm already seeing the benefits of just going through week 1. So I'm pretty excited about weeks 2 and 3, particularly on the sales part, because I get pretty excited just about educating my clients about what they're actually going to get. So that's the biggest. I guess that's the biggest. Um, that's the biggest, I guess, reflection that I may get from customers, just because on the educational part of it, they may not know exactly what it is, or what it is exactly the service that I'm offering. So I'm pretty excited about knowing what I want, and kind of honing in down on those focused clients, kind of my niche of audience, so to speak, and then really start to really crush in that area.
And you will find that like the way that that I sell is very different. So like how we do it, like just to give you like a sneak peek of it. So pretty much like we really like find out, because every person that inquire, there's something that made them inquire, right? So like
Yep.
some people they will think they want a detail, but really like they want pain correction. But some people they think they want pain correction, but really they want like something else. So what you'll find is like on the sales part is like we really dig out their core motivation of why they are like booking it in, and then we just basically to amplify that um through through like what like through that, and then it's a very more like very custom tailored approach, which all like the higher end people they love, because like they understand that
Yep.
okay, like this is not this is not something that is like very like very like said and done. It's more like very custom tailored to exactly like what they want. So a really good example is like a lot of people when they call, they really want I always ask them why they want to get the coding done, and then I always find like these words, like they want to have like a peace of mind, they want to drive it safely, they want to preserve like the value of their cars and all of that. So now when I basically get to my pitch, so to speak, tell them like how the coding works, and make sure like like I nail in on those points. And at the beginning of the call, like they'll tell exactly and all of that. So like basically towards the end, when you start like, telling them like how it works, how the coding works, and the price, it makes sense. It's like selling exactly like what they need, right? And that has worked really well. And another thing is that we have the so-called like 2 option close.
It really is. Yeah, that brings it all home for everything, as far as giving them those 2 options, and then if they ask about it, telling them about the third option. Only if you're kind of on the fence about it. But yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, so like you always want to like go like to the very end, like unless that person is like, oh, literally like oh man, 1,500 is like way too much, man. Like come on, like I'm only gonna keep this car for like another year. There's no point for me to like spend $1,500 on it. And then also like, you get guys that also just wants like the best stuff, right? Like the first time I ever like applied this concept, that it really like it blows me away, because like I think like the first time I ever used this concept, I learned from because a lot of stuff that I learned is actually from other industries as well. Because like the thing about the detailing industry is like people who are successful, they are very quiet, and people who doesn't know a lot, they will basically like blast out like whatever like advice they put it on the groups and stuff. So really like
Right.
people get deluded very easily. and um
Hmm.
so like and then one thing is like once I started learning like this 2 option close, what I realized is like when someone just like call me in and they just want to get a full deal done, I'll go through the whole process, ask them why do they want to get it done, what's their motivation, all of that. And then afterwards, once I get to the close, I say like, okay, we have two full detail package. We have like the normal full premium detail, which is $350, and that covers this. But also we have the luxury detail package that includes like a one-step correction just to restore the paintwork back to like brand new. And a lot of them they'll just go with the higher end option. And when I first discovered that, I was like, holy shit. So people don't
Yeah.
really just want like the lower end price. Like if you give them like two options, like you will find that sometimes that people will just go with the higher end option. And one key thing as well, like you'll find that you can use a lot of powerful words. Like example, like restore, right? Like paint correction. A lot of people they a lot of normal people, they don't know what is it. Some of the
Yeah.
some of the higher end clients, they know like what is it, but a lot of them they don't know what is it. So sometimes I will even say like sprayless paint restoration, because it's like you can restore your paint without actually like going into the spray booth.
Yeah.
Power words like this, it really like if you can paint a picture in your mind, it's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then sometimes like I'll like and then sometimes I'll even say like, hey man, like just imagine this, like if you drive down the like if you drive like for 1,000 miles, and just imagine this, you drive for 1,000 miles and your car doesn't get that dirty that much, and really like it'll take you only 15 minutes 20 minutes to basically wash the car. And then they're like, holy shit, this is awesome, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of real estate agents, they love that, because like a good portion of my clients, they work in real estate, and also like real estate is a big thing in where I'm at. So these
Okay.
real estate agents, they like to like show off, and they always want to be presentable as possible. But
Yep.
obviously, like, not all real estate agents are like that. Like just like the good performing ones.
Right.
Yeah, and then saying things like that, they're like so happy. They're like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
And
awesome.
yeah, and it's all about practice, man. Like the key thing here, like because at this stage you want to talk to as much people in your market as possible. Um, they like now it's like your quote unquote so called like promotion phase. So like just keep talking about it. ABC always be closing whenever you see there's an opportunity. Definitely go for it. Um, yeah. So these like some pointers that I can give you like today. Um,
Yeah.
just to like push you like a bit motivated about this. Um, yeah, man. And then like if you want, man, you can share some of your work in the group. I'm sure like a
Okay.
lot of guys will find that quite motivating as well.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. I'm pretty much do that. Yep. I'm about to get on here and start week 2, and yeah, get the ball rolling, man. I appreciate, like I said, all the hard effort you put towards putting this program together. I'm really starting to see, some of these little things that we kind of talked about, and just laying down the foundation, and then moving on to week 2 to the sales, and just learning tactics to implement. Really looking forward to it.
Mm. Yeah, like the problem with the industry is like a lot of people, they one thing that bugs me a lot is like this industry is so easy to get into. Like you can literally
Hmm.
like spend $500 like at like detailed image, and you can get like decent equipment, and some like good like chemicals, and you can really start like detailing. The problem with an industry like this is like it has a lot of people that doesn't take things seriously. And a lot of the things that details are doing, even the really well established ones, they are really old school. They still take like a notebook and pen, and they write like all the things down. There's nothing wrong with that, but just the whole industry as a whole, it's very like outdated. um
Yeah,
mm,
yeah, totally agree with that.
yeah, like literally, I don't know how is it like over there, but like literally every second day there's a new detailer popping up, and just like makes me like laugh.
Yeah, I see. Actually, I seen it, which is okay. Like I even like I guess because I've been here in Tampa, well, in the Tampa area going on. I guess it's going on 2 years. Yeah, like 2.5 years. And some of the clients that I had when I first got here, which I was just basically just working out of my truck, and some of those clients, I guess I see they've kind of like basically just went on to the next, new detail guy or whatever. And I'm like, which is kind of a good thing because I'm like, I'm glad I saw, I just did it temporarily just to kind of like, stack my money up and kind of, get my equipment. And because I already knew what type of brand that I wanted. I didn't want that, just a basically, like I say, glorified car wash guy. I didn't want that. I just wanted it to be able to, grow something bigger, just change the industry. Because, like you said, it's a lot of old fashioned uh, traditions, so to speak, that are kind of still in the detail world that I didn't really like. I kind of wanted to implement and do something different. So it's kind of mainly too why I joined your program too, because I just figured, just watching a few of your teachings, it was just a non-traditional thing, and I just thought it's good for this industry, for us to have more guys like this, basically learning and servicing those clients.
Mm. Exactly, and the thing is like when someone put in like the survey form when they hop on the call with me, and if they say like they use like McGuire's or chemical guys, I'm like, man, like this guy probably just started his business 3 months ago. Yeah, like it is true because because like more seasoned details they'll use like way better products, and
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and yeah, like what was I about to say? Yeah, I just lost my train of thought. And and the one thing I want to comment as well, like a lot of the stuff that I've learned is not even from like the detailing industry. So example, what you'll find through like the sales module as well. Whenever if someone wants to like book it in, when someone is committed, I always get like a deposit upfront. I do 50% credit card over the phone, and that gesture, it really like weeds out a lot of people, because like people tell me all the time, oh man, don't worry about it, I'm gonna bring my car in tomorrow, I'm gonna bring in my car like next week, but really like I will never hear back from them again. So what I started doing is I started taking deposits. If you haven't do deposits, do it like today. um,
Yeah.
and so like I take like 50% deposit upfront, and that concept of taking 50% deposit upfront is I actually learned it from a body shop. There's like one time like I had to like bring my car in to get my rear bumper resprayed, and the body shop is like, yep, 50% deposit. I'm like, yep, let's do it, no problems. And I started doing
Yep.
that with my business as well, and it changes a lot of things because number one, you can get the cash upfront, and
Yep.
number two, like it weeds out people who are like not serious. And literally like
Yep.
Noah, like I spoke to him last week. There's a guy that told him like, yep, I'm gonna book it in, put me in the books for like 2 days later, and just that one day he forgot to take the deposit, he flaked.
Yeah. 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 I definitely start to see a difference in that. I actually started implementing that, I would say probably a year ago, because it was a lot of that. Like see people say they want this, even with like basic paint correction jobs. I was like, because I think it was a big job I had. I think um, it was a big job. I think I had maybe two. I think I had like two Mercedes to do, and it was like, I guess it was maybe I had to order some more material. So I was like, okay. So I didn't get a deposit that this was 2 years ago before I started doing it. And then I started saying, I was like, man, I at least have to get, at least cover my materials up front, just because I'm like, there's so many people that flake. I was like, if the job is 500, I gotta at least get $200, just because, just like you said, just to let you know that you're serious, and you kind of wean out the people that aren't really serious. Because when you want to get it done, uh, everybody that pretty much puts their money down, they're already committed to like wanting to get the process done. So yeah, that's a good strategy, because I just started implementing that probably within the past year.
Mm. That thing was like
Yeah.
it changed a lot of things for me because like back when I was mobile, this guy was like, yeah, like let's like book it in. And when I didn't take a deposit, right, I literally would drive 45 minutes away, and then the guy just like didn't like show up. Like he would just I remember like this dude. We don't really get a lot of Americans car here in Australia, but this deal with the Trans Am, it's imported, which is super like expensive. To you guys, like it's quite cheap, but like even like a basic Dodge Challenger, like it costs us like 100 grand or something. Just because we
Oh
need to do like
wow.
the we need to do like the whole like right hand drive conversion and go through like compliance, make sure that the emissions is good, all that whole process
Yeah.
and exchange rate like it's ridiculous because it's not a 100 grand car, right? Like even the materials and all that it doesn't like it's not just not a 100 grand car. But anyway, like this dude with a Trans Am, and then the thing is that one thing that really like pissed me off is because I actually went there for an in-person consultation, told him, gave him a call. He said, "Yep, let's put it in the books." Next week when I rock up, he didn't pick up my phone. So I thought like, you know what, I'm just gonna rock up because like he might just like left his phone somewhere. When I rock up, knock on the door, he didn't answer his door. His car was not there. So I just wasted like 45 minutes to and back. It's like 1.5 hours gone. And
Oh wow.
it's really frustrating. So and then when I started doing the 50% deposit, man, like the whole business like changed.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm definitely yeah, definitely gonna do 50. Like you said, just because I've had a few of those cases with just like regular details where like maybe like full details of like a paint correction or something like that, where it's like, it's a $300-400 job and I may drive 30 minutes and you know, they don't wake up or they don't answer the phone. And then you have your few customers that are like it's like super like apologetic for wasting your time and they want to compensate you for it, and then they pay you for your time and then they rebook it again too, and it's like and they just pay it all up front. So yeah, that's definitely a great strategy coming from a non detailed background to bring into it. That's going to help out for sure.
It is, it is. I did that to you as well. The reason why I didn't get like 50% upfront is because it's a lot of money. Like especially it's not like physical. It's not like something that is physical or like I'm going to your house or whatever it is. So like to get 50% upfront like on the phone over the internet, it's impossible. So to me like 10% it makes sense. And
Yep.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, like wow, and one more thing as well. You always every sales conversation you should always steer towards not to give the price on the phone, but only if you
Mhm.
have to, then you can give the price over the phone. But so like one strategy that what I started doing is because sometimes people are just busy and they just don't have the time to drop the car off to just to have just for me to like have a look. So what I typically will do is like if someone give me a call, and some people will say like, oh man, like just tell me what's the price, man. I'm like, look, it's gonna be either $500 or $2,500. It all depends on like what your car needs, how's your paint condition and all of that. The only way for me to know is basically to bring your car in. So if that person say that, oh man, it's too expensive on the phone when you give them the price range, they are not serious. But if someone
Okay.
is already like if you tell them the range is gonna be $500 to 2,500, and the person still wants to bring their cars in, now you know like the person that brings the cars in, the minimum that you will take away is $500 because he already know the price range. And if the person
Correct.
already know that okay, that price range, I bring it in. Typically, you can book somewhere between like 1,200 to like 1,500 typically. So,
Hmm.
but really, like one thing that I always try to do is I always go for the in person consultation. So like I'll ask them a few questions about their car and then like bring it over. We'll have a look. We'll sit down. We'll chat. I'll just make it as casual as possible because I want to lower the resistance of him bringing his car in. I want to make it sound fun, calm. Like
Hmm.
we'll have coffee, all of that. And they're like super happy to bring it in because if you just try to close over the phone, your closing rate is only like 20% typically. But if you try to do like bring it in person and you close, that's like almost like 60 to 80% that person will close.
Okay.
And I know like a lot of seasoned guys in the program, their closing rate is like once they can get them over the phone on the phone, or once they can get that
Hmm.
person like in person, it's pretty much closed. It's just like more of like logistical side of things.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So how does that look? How does that look? I guess for me being mobile, still do that. I guess I'll just basically would I go to the customer's house or have them come over, or how would that work?
So like you want it depends on what stage because you already are quite seasoned. So you try to get them to come, try to get them to come. But if they really can't make it, and if you are free on that day, then you can just go to them. But always try to like make them to come to your house first. But if really like kind of make it, you can make it sound casual. You don't want to make it sound like you are desperate for the sale. So one thing, if I want to go to that person's house, what I typically will do is like, I will say like, hey, like I'll be in this area at this time. Why not? I'll just come by and have a look.
Yeah. Okay.
So like you might be doing a job, and on your way home you might just like stop by like his place real quick, and you could just do like the whole like in-person consultation. So the in-person consultation just follow the script anyway, like the whole like process.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. That works. Awesome. I'm just jotting a few things down. And you said the in-person is usually 60 to 80% closing.
At the beginning, you'll be like try to aim for at least like 40. But really like once you get a lot better, like it should be around like 60 to 80%.
Okay. Perfect.
It's all about practice, and it's all about doing it, because we can sit here and talk like 10 hours about sales. I love talking about sales, but if you like, if you don't,
which is great, because I think it's a great, just that structure itself, I think is great at talking about sales, because as a detailer, sometimes I feel there's a couple of different ways that we kind of go with the industry. Like if you're a seasoned person, if you've been in it for quite some time, sometimes it's like you know everything as far as the process and application of how to make the paint, how to basically get results from the paint, how to get, glossiness and, flawless, or, at least 90% flawless. All those things, all the tactics to do that. The biggest thing is just the sale and actually talking, because most detailers I've come to feel like in this industry are more introverts. So like talking about sales and things like that is kind of like, it's a struggle, especially when you're talking prices. So sometimes it's a struggle to talk about it. So I think it's a great tip that you actually have this on the program to help, kind of get people comfortable and just build that confidence level in the actual in the detailers to actually, hey, you're worth this, you know what you can do, just kind of be confident and talk about it.
Exactly. And what you will find, and what you'll find is like how should I put it? And what you'll find is like introverted are generally better at sales just because they listen. An extroverted person like me, I talk too much, and I need to learn how to like dull it down. So and one thing I think the biggest thing about is one biggest thing is about what I find is people are too afraid of money. They're too afraid of like saying the price. They're too afraid about that. One thing that makes you a great salesperson is that you need to start loving money. Because like the whole society conditioned us to think otherwise. We think that money is a taboo topic. We shouldn't talk about money. But really, like to get really good at sales, it's really that you need to start loving money, and you need to start like just be comfortable around money, especially like in big prices and stuff. And also like one thing I started doing is one thing I realized is like how people buy is how people sell. If someone always because I see this a lot, like some people, they just couldn't close, and then I asked about like how is his buying behaviors, his buying habits, and he would tell me like, oh, you know what, like I always need to like sleep on it, I need to think about it and all of that. While that makes sense, but if you are trying to sell, like that will work against you, because now your potential customers, they will have the same behavior to you. They will start telling you like, oh, I need to think about it and all of that, just because like that will reflect. This is kind of like a very a little bit woo-ish topic, but it actually makes a lot of sense. So what I started doing is when I bought my car, I just told him like, yep, let's do it. I'm gonna do cash and all of that. And I just made a decision like this. And even like he was shocked, like, oh, like don't you want to think about it? I'm like, not really. I've said it. And that tells me that it seems like a lot of people, it's like they like it's quite rare these days that people are so like decisive. And once you are very
Mm,
decisive, now when you try to sell to your clients will be very decisive.
mm, interesting. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and then what I started doing is that I started saying no as well. Like how like telemarketers they'll like call you up and and then sometimes like it's so hard for you to say no. And one
Mm,
thing I started doing is like I was just say like no, I'm not interested, I don't want it. And you will find that like they actually respect that a lot more than if you just leave them hanging. I don't like to leave people hanging
yeah.
like all the time. If it makes sense, I'll go for it. If it doesn't make sense, I'll just say no.
Yeah. Okay. So exercising. No. I got it.
Yeah, yeah. If something that doesn't make sense, nope, nope, it's fine. Yes, it's good. I I don't like to keep things like maybe. Maybe is very like it takes up a lot of like mental space, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So true. Wow. Yeah. I like that concept when you said that how people buy is how they sell. Like I really like that how you kind of worded that, and it's now that you think about it, it's kind of true. So like I say, people are kind of afraid to talk about money, and um, yeah, makes sense.
Mm. Yeah, because I had the same thing as well. I think like back 2016, 2015, I'm so afraid to like see out my price. I'll always like stumble. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be like I think $1,000, and just that uncertainty it makes people feel like, oh man, like you're not confident in what you do. Versus like
Yeah,
versus like if you say that, yep, it's gonna be $1,200, they're like, okay, like this dude knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's worth, and yeah, like let's do it.
yeah,
It's all very nuanced, and it's all very like subconscious.
mm,
And the thing is this is the topic that I like to like talk about. I like to think about. It's like I like to study, like philosophy, like psychology, how people think, and all of that. It's all very interesting. Like I do that like on my free time, and yeah, like what you do is like there's one quote that I really like. I think I learned that like a long time ago. It's like the self is always coming through.
mhm,
There's no words that can hide it. So when someone just joined the program and they don't have like the pain correction skills, which like some people they don't have. I always tell them
mm,
like just go and do like 5 practice cars or like practice cars. Get yourself comfortable with it first before you even start selling it.
yeah,
Once you're able to do that, like the selling comes like super like easy, because like if you haven't done codings before and you try to sell codings, it it will come across as very like not genuine, and people can feel that, and people will start like
yeah,
doubting you about your business, especially if you have a brand to it, you know.
mhm, yeah, yeah. So true. Yeah, because at the end of the day, I think like you stated it, it's all about the confidence level, just having that confidence, and whether it's doing the application, whether it's you being confident about your price and what you're worth. It kind of all kind of stems about just the confidence level that you have when you're speaking. So
Mm.
yeah, that's really good.
and and then you know what, like if you look at like the detailing like groups, the forums and stuff, no one talks about this kind of stuff. They always talk about like, oh
Yeah,
man, like what pads, what compounds, what coatings, all the graphene coatings, oh like how does that work and all of that. It's not the main thing. I like to be honest, like if you, I don't care like if like someone is really good like how skilled they are, but if they can't really get much customers, there's not really that much point.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because sometimes you can, and that's like analysis paralysis, or like when, because I think it sometimes as detailers you can get so caught up in just like what's the newest thing, what's the newest product, the product or whatever, and just I find it with a lot of younger details that just kind of entry level. Like I come across guys all the time and they ask me, and I'm just like, man, just like simplify, don't make it so complex. Because I think, and we live in a days world where everything's on Instagram, everything's on Facebook, and the newest the biggest thing, and you can kind of get caught up in just all of that. But it's like, hey, just use what you use, know how to communicate to people, and you'll be just fine.
It is, and I don't know if you like I don't know if you remember, like in week one, like one of the modules that I said, like I cut down all of my products, like 80% of them I threw it away
Yeah,
because I didn't use. I literally have like, I
yeah,
think I have like three compounds, I think. One is the Show S20 Black. I don't know if you guys have that. One is
yep.
the and that one is a really good like one step. I can correct like 99% of the cars really well. One step, customers will be like blown away with that compound. That compound is like the holy grail of like one step, in my opinion. I haven't used like any other products yet, just because like I don't have the time to like play around with it. And usually
Which one is
when
that? I think that's used as the all-in-one, right?
this is not the only one, but that's like the one step. Uh,
Okay.
it's called like I'm just gonna write this down here. It's called Show S20 Black. This is like this is amazing. Like literally like number one like
I think I,
yeah. So
I think
like
I found that one, or I may have used one. I think my buddy gave me a little bottle of it. Um, I think I don't know, because I think the one I had like an orange top or something. But yeah, I gotta try this. I'm gonna look it up and see if we have that here. But yeah, I keep it simple too. Like I said, it's not too many. I don't care like a whole bunch of stuff. It's kind of that made. I was so excited to see that when you said that, because um, yes, it's like as far as foundation, if you want to just like have certain things that that works, just stick to that and just move on to the next. So that
yeah,
was good.
unless like because I know like some like hardcore like enthusiasts, like they will like when they listen to this they'll be like, oh man, what the fuck, like what, like I thought you should have like 20 other products and then you just tell what works. Not true. I have like I have like Show like S20 Black. I have like DK 1.1, which is very really interesting because detailing does its own role, but products has hit its own role as well, and you will find that a lot of coatings like they are from the same factory. So what's
Yep.
really interesting was like, okay, Show S20 Black, Detailing Kingdom, Next Cut 1.1, and Detailing Kingdom, Next Cut Finale. These three like is like literally like 90% of like what I use. And pads like Lake Country like HDO pads is really good. Real pads they're kind of okay. Yeah, so like it's only like these few products that I use. And
Mhm.
you'll find is like the highest profitable point is not the multi-stage correction. It's not like you spend like 3 days like wet sanding and do all of that crap. Um, like I highly respect the people that really can spend like 5 days like correcting a car, but as a business standpoint, like it doesn't really make much sense because that you will spend like 5 days and it's not that practical. Um, these are the three products that I use, and I just like double down on it. I haven't even tried like graphene coatings yet, just because like G Technique is selling so well. So there's no point in doing that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally agree. Yep.
So like when I
Totally.
cut down all my products and streamline everything, and everything is like so simple. And
Hmm.
actually, things has always been very simple, but just the people will like add a lot of like things into it, and it makes it so complex.
Yeah. 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 I totally agree.
And
Totally
one
agree.
and
Yeah.
one big thing is like, do you have like the water tank setup and all of that?
Yeah. Yeah. So I have the full mobile setup with the water tank and pressure washer and generator and everything. Is all like I got like a little setup in my unit, my mobile band unit.
I, I
Yeah.
hate I hate to tell you this, but like once you start getting into like the higher inclines, what you'll find is like you don't even need all of those.
Oh yeah. That's why I went so small with it. Like I think it was like only like a 50. It was just enough to like basically do just like my maintenance stuff. So like a lot of the high end um, clients that I have, they wanted like a maintenance type deal where I take care of their cars like basically every other week, like a couple Ferraris and a couple of Jags and Rovers and stuff like that. And that's basically I just keep that just to go take care of them. So I basically correct them, code them, and then whenever I need to do a maintenance, I can just jump in the van and go take care of them. Yeah, but it's yeah, I totally I can already start kind of getting. I can see myself kind of getting there once I finally got settled in Florida and I was actually doing more jobs and people starting to see my work. And I was like, man, I'm really not even using like one thing when I first got here, I was gung ho about getting a like a carpet extractor and things like that. And I was like, probably within a year, I was like, man, I'm not even doing like I'm doing more high end stuff I'm basically clean cars. So I'm not even like I don't even need this stuff. I don't even need this $1,000 extractor or stuff like that. I'm like, it's kind of so I sold it all. I'm basically down to like I say, just the simple materials, all my polishers, um, and just little stuff. Like it's not I don't need like this big because in before even also too, I think it just changed with the dynamics what I was doing in Louisiana. I had to have that stuff because I was doing more fleet stuff. So I had a crew that ran fleets and they were doing like enterprises and car rental spots like that. So I kind of needed those tools, but now that I know what I want as far as what I want to do, what I want to grow to, I can basically simplify it and then just target my audience that I'm trying to basically get business from.
100%. And you know what's funny? Like the lower like the lower end stuff, you need a lot of like equipment. You need like the extractor, you need like all of that, and like that, and very often, like I actually don't like the term like lower end clients, but like what it is. So typically
Yep.
like the lower end clients, like they don't have their own power, they don't have their own water, and if you use their power and water, they'll get mad, all of that. And you need like the power, you need the whole tank and stuff. But one thing I realized is like the high end clients normally, okay, if a car is like above like $60,000 in value, normally they won't park it on the street. They will at least like have a garage, and really like they are not too fast about if you're using their power and water. So just going by that fact alone, I cut down a lot of things, and just that few like simple like polishes and stuff like I can charge like a higher price and all of that makes things like so simple.
Yeah. Yeah. It cuts down, like I said, on a lot of even yeah, just like little things that you would buy, materials and all that. Like I don't need half of it. Now I'm just starting to see it now that I'm in this space, like in Louisiana was a little bit different, but now that I'm in the Tampa area and the target audience is what I'm kind of shooting for, I definitely see, man, I don't really need as much, as I need to, which is great, because I can just keep, materials costs down and I can charge what I charge for my service.
Mm, exactly, exactly. Yeah, it's like the whole fleet stuff is like it's a lot of like management work. Like managing
Oh yeah.
workers is like one of the hardest things I have to do. It's
Yeah.
it's a nightmare.
Yeah, that's what I'm just like I'm like, man, if I can just get if I'm glad I have this structure to go off of because like I said, there's nobody in the industry that's even teaching the sales aspect of, detailing. So say if you have detailers that's been, doing this line of work for 10 plus years and they're kind of still doing the same old things. And it's like me being in it, I feel I've been in it a long time. I've been in it like 8 years. And it's like, man, like I don't see how people like not try to grow or not try to like. I mean, I've been in other industries too, so I guess that's kind of part of it too. Like I've been in sales, I've been in a few other industries where I was like, man, this can be a lot better. So, yeah, this program is definitely. I'm definitely just seeing the benefits already. Just even just going through week one and actually speaking with you about little things that you've picked up from other businesses and you're implementing into this industry is great. So I kudos to you for doing that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, what was I about to say? Man, like I lost my train of thought again. Yeah, man, like definitely, man. It's and you're only in week one, right? Like when we get into like the marketing aspects of it, it's gonna blow your like head off. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, man, I'm
Like
excited.
I think like yeah, like Vaughn just like texted me yesterday, like he just started doing ads, and then like I think like the first like I think he's already got like four like form inquiries, and then he just it's a matter of like going and close them. Um, yeah, so awesome, man. All right, let's wrap this up.